Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I've got two different stories to bring you right now. Some very important updates from the CDC releasing a very serious warning. Even though it may seem small to many people, a handful of people being infected with something, I think it is a big deal. We're also going to bring you some new information about the bird flu, the avian flu also. So I thought it would be great to talk to Chris Taylor at Financial Fitness. He's not only a friend of mine, was a subscriber, became a good friend, and has a great growing YouTube channel, but he's been researching this stuff right now. So without further ado, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, brother.
Hey,
I'd be doing better if there wasn't another something to talk about.
Yeah, but the good news is we're bringing it out. Now, you did a couple of videos already about this. I'm going to share a screen real quick, and we're just going to briefly go over it, and then we're going to get your take, because your videos didn't get a lot of airplay, but we saw the same thing happen with the avian flu when we first came out with this, which you actually came out with first. And what we're talking about, everybody, is CDC issues alert for severe hepatitis in kids, what parents need to know. And what they're talking about, the CDC just issued a health advisory about a cluster of 9 cases of unusual severe hepatitis in kids in Alabama on Thursday. 2 cases have also been identified in North Carolina and dozens more in Europe. All right, now, Chris, you started covering this a couple days ago, and we saw very little views on the video, correct?
That's right. We're a little early, and like I said before, this could be a nothing burger. Yeah. But so was the coronavirus when we first heard about it, when it was only in China. And what's interesting about this is a lot like the last thing is clusters. It's clusters in Scotland, it's clustered in UK, it's clusters here, and they're treating this thing. I'll read you a little bit. Clinicians are asked to be aware of potential new cases of unexplained acute hepatitis. Now, this is in kids right now. It's between 4 and 6 is pretty much the average. But now, since we started talking about it was in kids, it mentions it 4 different times in this article. Look out for it in children under 16 years. So they're starting to say, pay attention to that. And, it's starting to act like the old thing. Now, I hate to say it too much because the tube doesn't like it, but they're saying all staff involved needs to use IPC precautions. It's like infectious protection control, and use in-suite rooms while patient is considered infectious. So they're treating it.
Well, real quick, I just want to jump in. You're saying they need to treat this cautiously because, unlike how hepatitis is spread, what we normally are used to, this is a little bit more aggressive, similar to a virus. This can be spread being in the same room as someone, correct?
Yes, saliva, feces, changing a baby diaper, kids snotting on each other. That's how I understand.
Yeah. So what I want to tell people is, like Chris said, clusters. This is very similar when we saw these warnings go out, and Europe is taking a more aggressive stance. Because Chris, didn't you say they have usually about 2 cases a year, but they have 5 right now all at once? And that was big enough for them to put these alerts out because they know how contagious this could be.
Yeah, in Scotland, that was in Scotland. They had 4 cases in a year. That's about average. It was a little less than 4 cases a year. And they've had 5 in 3 weeks. So that kind of puts things into perspective of how this thing could start to metastasize.
So I want to tell everybody, I'm going to put a link to this article below, but I want people to start not only researching, but get this spread out. And this is why. When Corona started, guys, it is a real virus. It's a flu. I had it a couple times. It knocked me on my tail. It is real, but there's also things that we could do to prevent it, right? Very easy. We don't got to go crazy. But we could take vitamins. We can start to get healthier, live a healthier lifestyle. It sounds crazy, but viruses, we've had viruses all over the world, since the dawn of time, right? And we know what gets them, deals with them. Good health, good sleep habits, vitamins, a healthy diet, things like that, right? And then also taking precautions like washing your hands, being sensible, logical, not crazy like we've seen the last couple of years. But we want to bring you this story because, and please share these videos, because we want to get it out to everyone that knows us and follows our channels, because we care about your not only financial well-being, but your physical health as well. Because without your physical health, you could be the richest person in the world and you've got nothing, right, Chris?
That's right.
So
you don't want to be the richest person in the graveyard.
Absolutely.
You lose if you do that.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the bird flu right now. This is really important because again,
can I say one more thing about?
Yeah.
Okay. They're calling it hepatitis, and what hepatitis is inflation of the liver. It's like a blanket terminology. Here's the virus. It's called adenovirus, ADENO virus. You're going to start hearing that. That's the contagious thing that's causing the liver problems. So start learning about that. I go over a little bit and put a description at the end of the last video I did. And that's what you need to kind of be looking at. So just pay attention to that. I want to put that out there.
Yeah. And guys, this at the time this comes out, hopefully I'm going to be able to link a video that Chris did on this actual virus. But I don't know, I'm going to be out of cell signal. So depending on when, because you can't preload up a pinned comment, I'll try and get that to you guys. But if not, go check out Chris Taylor at Financial Fitness. That's his YouTube channel, is Financial Fitness. And it's one of his most recent videos on the virus. Now let's jump into the bird flu, because yet again, Chris nailed this in, I think the first week of December, started talking about the bird flu. I jumped on top of it as well. And we got very little play. And now that it's in the mainstream, it's ironic that it's still not getting a lot of attention. The people that know that this is going on and how serious this is know how serious this is. But just a couple of headlines right now: the bird flu outbreak, experts saying take down your feeders. They do not want birds coming and traveling and feeding in your areas and their droppings hitting the ground and other birds picking it up, right? Chris, you have some, we know that this could transmit to humans. It's H1N5 or what is it, Chris? H1N5 or
H5N6.
Oh, that's so it's changed a little bit, because I know there was
that might be the one that's in humans. I'm not sure how they're working that, but now that it's starting to get into humans, it's starting to get different. Like there's been 19 cases so far, and this is big news.
Yes.
If it mutates, and we've done some kind of gain of function research on this, it could make the coronavirus look like a walk in the park. It would be the most devastating news ever.
And we just saw, I want to say, one of the big CDC officials come out and state that in his opinion, this is going to be larger than Corona. And I want people to understand this is why. Let me give you the most basic logical reason why. Our entire world has went through a virus. And also a lot of people have taken a vaccine that also includes that virus, a live strain, right? Their bodies are taxed right now. To now have something different starting to spread around, this is serious. This is why we need you to start taking universal precautions. Just be logical in your, and the biggest thing is washing your hands, making sure you're getting your proper vitamins and minerals right now. And then, hey, yeah, if there's someone sick, just cool. Just, you don't have to go hug them and kiss them. And, I see people, do you see it, Chris, too? Some people that have taken the opposite stance where it's like, I'm running headlong into this. I don't care. It's all fake. You're like, look, it is a virus, right?
Well, it takes me back to the pandemic. Before anybody was talking about it, I was, watching it come. And we were taking all the necessary precautions. I mean, wiping off packages, groceries, we did not know.
Yeah.
It could be Ebola. We didn't know. And then after it got here, you started to see what it really was, and what we could do kind of changed.
So it's not about panicking. It's about seeing something, taking it serious, waiting to watch how things happen, and then evolve in your lifestyle to make sure that you're just being safe. And that's what I want to see, is people just be safe. So now you said you have an article about it transmitting into humans.
Well, let's talk about being safe. A lot of us have chickens. We're bracing for impact, getting ready for the Thunderdome, where eggs are going to be expensive, comparable to gold. That's the way it was in Venezuela anyway. So there's a few things you can do. Don't, like you said, don't feed the wild birds where they can see it from the air. Don't feed the wild birds at all, but don't feed them with your chickens. If they can see the food from the air, hey, Jose, give me a minute. You're going to have a problem. As far as it transmitting to humans, there's supposed to be, and this is what happens in China, we do not know. I mean, the propaganda is unreal, but we can only give you what we got. And this year so far, there's been 19 cases. There was 2 as of maybe yesterday. One of them was a 28-year-old woman. I don't have proof that it's transmitting, from human to human. But if it did, it has a 40 to 60% death rate. and it would be the biggest thing that ever happened that while we're alive anyway, for sure. And as far as things to do, I don't know how all I know to do is keep an eye on it, and we'll learn kind of as we get into it, because nobody has all the answers.
True, but I think that's why it's important to share these videos. I think some people are scared to be serious about things. Like they almost think that that's weakness, but it's not. It's strength. When you look at things with a cynical eye, but also an eye for this could be something real, or an opportunity for me to save myself and my family and not have to go through this, well, then you should do it. Quite frankly, when I went through COVID, I wish if I would have known the second, I mean, who knows where you were when you caught it, right? But if I could have avoided it, yeah, I would have avoided it.
You're right. We can only do so much. I'm getting.
Yeah, no worries.
Give me a second.
People are saying, hey, listen, guys, Chris is so busy, and I bugged him. I'm like, hey, I know you've been covering this. Let's jump on it. He jumped on it. Chris, you got to get back to work, and we're probably out of time anyway. So let's just wrap this bad boy up.
Well, look, there's a few things you can do. Watch it as it comes, and just don't freak out. Be ready. You've got food. You've got your fuel. You've got 2 of everything you need for sure. 3's better. Remember, 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is where you want to be. And we're just bracing for impact, because anything after 2020 is the Thunderdome. But we're going to be ready, and we're going to be able to jump on it when it gets here, and probably make money as we're coming out. That's goal.
Right. Yay, man. I couldn't say it any better than you just did. So thank you so much for Chris for jumping on. You got to get back to work. And with that being said, guys, the Economic Ninja is out.
Later.